Alright everybody, I have a bit of a warning for you guys. Beware of the Geek Squad. At least in Plum City, Wisconsin. Now the restart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alert, alert, alert. Assassination warning. Beware of the Geek Squad. Now, the weirdos over on BitChute and on Telegram have their panties in a wad because someone who didn't sign their name posted that someone was going to be dispatched to Field McConnell's house to fix his computer. Now, what is interesting about all this is they didn't specify who was being sent there or why, other than they've got the house under some kind of assassination watch. Now, the question is, why have they got this assassination watch out there? What is there about an IT technician coming to Phil McConnell's house that has these people in such a uproar? Now, just to catch everybody up who may not be aware, Paula has been trying to get Phil McConnell back on his show that he used to do, that he loved to do. And she set up a channel, and her and Phil have tried several times to start the show. But there's been technical problems, and they've always been at Phil's end. There is something wrong with Phil McConnell's computer, and she has not been able to solve it from where she lives clear across the North American continent in Western Canada. And so they both have said that we will get back online when they get the computer problem resolved. Now, all of a sudden, this message comes up that says that an arrangement has been made to have someone go to the house and fix the computer. Now, the computer that Phil McConnell has is apparently one that was just recently purchased, and for whatever reason, he's having a problem with it. Now, perhaps he's been able to use it to do household stuff and maybe, do some surfing on the internet, but for some reason, he cannot live stream. And so, he's kind of stuck. Now, since this is a new computer, there is something you get when you buy a computer. Now, let me ask you something to those out there. Do any of you have a computer that you bought new? And have any of you that bought the computer new ever have any problems with it? And do you folks that have bought a new computer know that something comes with the computer to help you get it fixed? It's one word. And I want to let you think here for a second what that one word would be that would help you get your computer fixed. Okay, have you been able to figure out what this word is? This all-powerful word? Well, I'll tell you. The word is warranty. And if you want to look it up in Google, go ahead. But the common meaning of the word is if it's broke and you've got a warranty, you can get it repaired or replaced within the warranty period. Now, since this is a brand new computer, I would expect that there is some kind of warranty on there. Now, the warranties can be, on average, factory warranty, like to the manufacturer, such as Dell or IBM, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months. And you can buy an extended warranty plan that may last you 1 or 2 years. And so if the computer's broken and he can't get it to work, then how is he going to get it fixed? Well, there's 2 ways to do it, or actually 3. Way number 1 is this 72-ish year old man can pack up this computer in his car or hearse, whichever he's choosing to drive, and drive the 1 hour at least to Best Buy or similar store in the snow. It's been snowing quite a bit in that part of the state, and get it fixed. Number 2, he could pack it up in a box, probably the one it came in, and mail it to a repair center and wait around for 6 to 9 months or whatever it takes for the warranty company to fix the computer and mail it back, and praying that the problem is solved. Now, the third possibility, and the more likely one, is that Field McConnell probably bought the computer and had a computer geek deliver it to his house and set it up. But unfortunately, after the computer guy left, Field McConnell didn't realize that he wanted to use the computer for streaming. And so, hypothetically, Field McConnell, or in this case, Paula, calls up the store and says, "Is there someone you can send to Field McConnell's house and fix his computer and teach him how to use it?" And since, for example, Best Buy has something called the Geek Squad, they would send one of their Jehovah's Witness lookalikes in the little Geek Squad vehicle over to Field McConnell's house and fix it. And they may have to make an appointment to do that. They just can't say, "Okay, we'll be there in a half an hour." They may have other computers that are broken that need to be fixed, or other computers that need to be installed, or big screen TVs, or what have you. So Phil McConnell may have to wait a few days to get his computer fixed. But I am sure, at least I'm reasonably sure, that someone from the Geek Squad is not going to go to Phil McConnell's house and assassinate him. Now, why all this hoo-ha-rah about Phil McConnell getting his computer fixed? Well, it's this. Timothy Charles Holmseth and company want to silence Phil McConnell. They are terrified of what he may have to say. They are terrified that Phil McConnell is going to repeat what he told Paula in previous interviews. And so Tim Holmseth and his minions are desperately trying to find a way to discredit Phil McConnell. Oh, and there's another possibility because of the language where it says someone is going to come up to repair the computer. Can't leave this out. See, Phil McConnell has a son who lives right here in the state of Florida. And Phil McConnell's son has a business. Phil McConnell's son has computers. And Phil McConnell's son knows how to configure computers. Because remember, the court ordered his son, when Phil McConnell was there, to make sure Phil McConnell could not get on his laptops. And so his son assured the court that he has the technical ability to keep Phil off his computer. That there's no way that when he's at work running his business, that Phil McConnell is going to be able to sneak on his computer. And so this son would have the technical know-how to hop on an airplane and fly up to Plum City, Wisconsin, and fix Phil's computer. Now, Phil McConnell has grandchildren, and Phil McConnell also has this son and his wife. And so I would think that Phil McConnell would like to be able to get on Facebook or some other social media platform and do a little FaceTime and maybe talk to his grandchild, talk to his son, and find out what has been going on in the Sunshine State. And as a side note, Phil McConnell, of course, wants to get back on the air. So Phil McConnell wants this very expensive computer he bought fixed. And so whether it is Phil McConnell's son or the store where Phil McConnell bought this or someone else that is capable of fixing the computer, Phil McConnell wants his computer fixed. Period. Now, Phil McConnell has weapons. Anybody that's watched his prior streams knows that Phil McConnell is a gun collector. And now that Phil McConnell is off probation, he can get his firearms back, which he probably has by now. Because this is a valuable collection of some really classic guns, plus he's got modern guns. And another thing to note, Phil McConnell lives on essentially a compound. He is surrounded by corn stalks on one side and trees on the other. He has a gate at the beginning of his property line with very specific signs of warning. He also has security cameras on the property so that if anybody comes into the house uninvited, he's going to know it. And they may be met with one of Phil McConnell's weapons. So I would hope that the computer geek has a telephone or some means of contacting Phil McConnell and letting him know he's there to fix his computer, or she. They have female Geek Squad members. And that the technician doesn't wind up going back to Best Buy in a body bag. And that the vehicle that he arrived in gets turned into a hearse when he leaves. But now we come to this brouhaha with the assassination squad. Now, there are people that have been to Phil McConnell's house many times. One of those people is a woman by the name of Kathy. And of course, Timmy and Randy have been there. And I'm sure there might be one or two other people over on that Telegram channel that have been to Phil's house. And they know how difficult it is to sneak in there without Phil McConnell or any of his neighbors knowing about it. Phil McConnell's power of attorney lives really close, and he's only a telephone call away. Plum City is a small town. If someone shows up with a strange vehicle, people are going to notice, and telephones are going to start to ring, and the sheriff might be called. And there's also the possibility that all those cameras that are in Field McConnell's home are hooked to something like Brink security, where if a panic button is pushed or if one of the cameras spots something, that the security company is notified and they can call the cops. And so the assassination watch is looking like that it is not a genuine assassination watch, but an effort to A, silence Field McConnell, and B, if you can't accomplish silencing Field McConnell, to discredit Field McConnell. And we can all guess why by listening to the prior conversations that Paula and Field McConnell had. Now, all this, by a really strange coincidence, started when it was found out that Field McConnell was coming off his restrictive probation. That Field McConnell would now be free to go on the air, read his scripture, talk about all the things that he's interested in talking about, and do so with his friend Paula. And that they would have a Q&A there where people could ask questions and participate. And this lonely old man stuck in this big house all alone would have a way to talk to the outside world. Something he cannot do right now because he's got a computer that doesn't work. And Paula has stepped up to the plate and found someone that is willing to fix the computer. Is it Best Buy going down to fix a computer that's under warranty? Is it someone local that can go over to Field McConnell's house and fix it? Is it Field McConnell's son who might come up to Field McConnell's house from Florida to fix the computer so that he can have FaceTime and communication with his grandchildren and friends and other members of his extended family? Or is it somebody else? Who knows who is going to show up and who is going to fix the computer? We may never know. The computer may not be able to be fixed. We know nothing until whoever is going to fix the computer fixes it. And we will not know what Field McConnell is going to say until he gets back on the air, if he gets back on the air. And then maybe we will get to the truth of why Timothy Charles Homseth and all those around him want to silence Field McConnell, and if failing that, discredit Field McConnell by spreading propaganda that he's being controlled or otherwise persuaded involuntarily to go on the air. So, I guess we're going to have to wait to find out. And in the meantime, stay tuned. This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and share. And let us see when, how, and if Field McConnell, Abel Janger, returns to the airwaves. Until then, have a good one. End of recording.